Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my co-written commentary, Ashton. And this is our Raw 2.0 review. Wait. Being told that this is still actually NXT 2.0. I had trouble telling the difference given that Dolph Ziggler's the world champion. And we got Dolph, Rude, Miz, and the Mysterios all on one NXT tonight. Kind of ambivalent about that, leaning towards hating it, but we'll unpack that. Just to make it succinct, I didn't care for this episode. I was bored for, I'd say, I want to be generous, 80% of it. Maybe even more, because I know there was stuff that I liked, but yeah, that's why I want to be fair. But man, your thoughts?
I literally couldn't give you a fave 5 segments from this show without repeating anything.
All right, get into our first segment, Heat of the Night. I will just say my first thing right off the bat, I was liking the Cora Jade stuff.
Thank
I don't
you.
like, yeah.
This was going to be
Yeah.
one of my heats of the night if you didn't bring it up. The fact that they ruined it at the end.
Yeah. Like, I don't like that Mandy kind of has that Charlotte factor of you can be, like, better, you can get one up on everybody, but never me. Just not me. And I didn't like that, especially because when you figure, Mandy's leading this whole group. It's no doubt they all collaborated together, in kayfabe. Hey, let's take Raquel out. And then Cora, her partner and tentative friend, because obviously if Cora's going to these lengths, she took it personally that Raquel was taken out. I think beyond just a plan being foiled. And, you'd think you'd want to balance the scales a little bit. And this isn't about like wrestling, because in the ring, if they wanted to say like, Cora's still learning, she's still developing, that's one thing, because I get the perception's reality. But this is something that she like set up. She very clearly thought it all out from taking the championships in the first place.
Wow.
She's put a lot more thought into something. And you're telling me Mandy on a whim is like, nah, I'm going to reverse that. Didn't really care for it. I think it made Mandy look too strong and Cora actually look really weak, to the point where their slated matchup at Stand and Deliver, right now, there's no believability to it to me. Right now, I just easily expect Mandy Rose to retain. We'll have to see what they do between now and then. But you said that you were going to have this if I didn't say anything. So is there anything you want to tack onto this?
Clearly, Mandy Rose has some kind of psychic connection with Cora Jade. How else could she have possibly known that Cora Jade was going to take her title and then try and go on a joyride with her vehicle with the title? That's literally some level of predetermination that Mandy must be displaying there, because there's no other way that she could have possibly known that in order to anticipate it and be in their car before Cora got into it. It literally makes no sense at all. Like, that was...
Yeah.
NXT has already been poorly written for such a long time, but that was some of the worst writing I've seen on NXT for a while.
That's actually an amazing point you made that I didn't even bother to consider, because even if you'd want to argue, well, maybe she found JC and Gigi beforehand, it's not like Cora relayed the plan to them. So it's not like Mandy found them, right? And was like,
even and that's, I think you're even stretching it to think she found them first, but it's possible. But even if she did, all they would say is Cora locked me in here. There's no reasonable evidence to lead Mandy to being like, I know what she's going to do next. She's going to try and steal my car, because like she had been trapping them in other things. What the fuck could possibly lead you to the conclusion of, I better go protect my car?
Yeah.
It makes no sense at all. It was literally just like a fucking... It was like NXT sitcom edition, because it was literally like sitcom level writing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just say right now, first of all, welcome Javaris and Foster to the chat. I even said in our Discord, $3 a month for the uninitiated that come back and listen to this review if they're looking for new NXT reviewers. That the best part about this is to be with Foster's face and to give him hugs. I don't know if I gave him hugs tonight. I'll have to make good on that later. But yeah, like, writing like this is exactly why I said that because it's like Cora again. She goes through all this effort to plan this
Can you still hear
meticulously
me?
out, and Mandy's just like, "I can. Can you hear me?"
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Okay, thank God. No,
I
no,
only
I'm
asked
just, I'm
because
just.
you had a cutout, and a lot of the time when you have a cutout like that, it will be like the Facebook call failing, and then like you'll keep talking, but then you won't be able to hear me. But we're good though.
Okay, okay. No, because I was just agreeing with you about it because again, it just makes Cora as a character, which I think, like, again, you know me with Cora, like, I like her. I'm not against her. I'm not certainly like a fucking asshole like Darby Allin, and I'm rooting for her. But you know, it's taken me a bit to really warm up to the character and what she's about, like on TV. And this is the most I was vibing with her. I'm like, you know, this is clever. Like, she's really fucking with him.
Yeah,
It's nice that this
it was
faction could be
like,
fucked with.
you know, Home Alone level type shit. Like she was like trapping them, like doing like clever shit. I love that. Like they were really showing a little more of like a mischievous side to Cora tonight. It was something that we haven't really
Yes.
seen of her before. And
Yes.
then at the end, it was like her character completely regressed because she went from being on top of things, knowing what she's doing, you know, having the hand up or leg up or however you want to describe it, to waffling about what to do, not knowing what to do, and then getting outsmarted by Mandy. It was just so stupid.
Yeah. Uh,
It's like
I just
we got a brief glimpse in 2 segments of genuinely fun, good writing, good character storytelling, and they immediately ruined it with that third one.
yeah. So that said, I don't want to beat a dead horse. Since this was my heat of the night to start out, or one of them, what did you bring to the banquet, good
Well,
sir?
actually, before we do move on, I also want to say, since you were saying that this is like Raw 2.0, Mandy Rose was on the main roster for a long enough time that I think she should qualify for that as well.
That's fair. Yeah, that's absolutely fair. I think.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, God, our literally like a year ago today, our NXT and NXT Women's Champions were both on the main roster.
Wow. Oh boy.
Because yeah, that was during Io's
Yeah.
run. That was when Io had the women's title, and Balor was the NXT champion, and
Good
Gargano
time,
was the North
man.
American champion. Anyway, what did you say there?
No, I just said good times, man.
I
Just
know,
going down that roster
like
like fun.
literally 1 year ago. It's not that long ago at all.
Oh man, it feels like it. So yeah, I reiterate, man. What are you bringing to our banquet of heat here?
Oh
What do you got that you
God,
just hated?
I hated literally everything about the Tiffany Stratton Saray match.
Yeah, like, God. See,
It made me
my
not like
yeah,
Saray's character because if your
yeah.
entire character is you're a worthless pipsqueak until you transform into the sun goddess, I don't like you're fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. What?
Cliff, Cliff coming in the chat with Vic Joseph's quote: "Saray not even able to transform." And look, I'm a child, okay? I have never tried to act like I'm anything else. I laughed so hard when he said that because I think about how weird you and I get doing like games and anime and shit. And I'm like, oh God, I feel like this is something we would do, but like when we're being stupid, not when we're handling
Yeah.
television. Oh God. It's just. Maybe I'm coming at this from a nerd perspective again. That's entirely possible. I am me. But we've been watching a shit ton of Stardom. We're getting ready to watch TJPW this Friday at midnight. You guys will
God,
want
I'm
to
looking
be there.
forward
I
to that.
always love
Yeah,
when we
it's gonna be
do
fun.
stuff outside of our like established regimen, if you will, of content. Like, why you got to do Joshi wrestlers like this, WWE? Why do you got to do wrestlers that come from Japan, really make a name there, put the time in, want to bet on themselves? Like, you just shit on them every day. Because here's the thing. I get that Sarai was protected to a point because she was assaulted from behind and this and that. I get that. I acknowledge that.
What they basically did here was the literal opposite of what they did with the fucking Demon Balor in his early NXT days. In early NXT days, they established Finn Balor was a damn good wrestler and could win matches on his own, but the Demon was unfucking stoppable. Saray's the
Yeah.
exact opposite. The Sun Goddess is a damn good wrestler and can win matches, but she's not unstoppable. And the normal human fucking schoolgirl version of Saray is fucking worthless.
Yeah, and like, I'm sorry, bro, because nothing you said was wrong, but can we just unpack that sentence for a second? So, like, you're a wrestler, but your normal form, like, what the fuck is this? Is a schoolgirl. Like, at least with Balor, the concept of transformation makes sense because you go from a really competent human wrestler to something non-human. Something I
Something
would even say like
superhuman,
otherworldly.
arguably.
Yeah, otherworldly, superhuman. So you go from schoolgirl pathetic wrestler to better wrestler. I feel like Sailor Moon has a more believable transformation. What the fuck is this shit? God.
See, and
Like,
here's the thing. Alex Foster just said, I honestly don't have an emotional attachment to Saray. She's a cool wrestler, but I don't really care. And Alex, I want you to know, I don't blame you one little bit for that. I blame NXT because it's not your responsibility to grow an emotional attachment to someone. It's their responsibility to make you feel that attachment to someone. And they have failed miserably.
thank you. How the fuck do we go? Because I'm not even asking. I understand.
Your
I'm
tone
sorry.
there,
Look,
as the PhD in the chat, that was fucking perfect tone.
thank you.
That
I
simple
just
little, how the fuck?
yeah. How the fuck do we go from? And I'm not asking for anything complex. Look, guys, I know I always say, "Oh, I miss Lucha Underground," and I do desperately all the fucking time. But I'm not even asking for any rich narrative storytelling. It'd be fucking nice. But like, even with Asuka, when she came in, one segment, fucking Tennille, formerly Emma, and Dana Brooke bullying her, like, oh, get out of our ring. And all she had to give was a little smile and be like, so no one fucks with you. I see how this works.
Mm-hmm.
And with Saray, it's like, I'm not asking her to be a badass, but I at least ask her to look competent. Like, I don't know. Again, I get the beat down and I get why Tiffany was able to get the win, but that's another problem too. It's Tiffany. Why is NXT already acting like she's done shit when she hasn't even been here a full calendar year? Like when what was it? Fallon Henley or whatever her name was, when she beat her last week
Helen
because of Saray.
Finley.
Oh, beg pardon. I genuinely didn't hear you.
I said Helen Finley.
Howland Finley. Yeah. Well, you know, I
I
can't.
literally
Yeah.
don't know her name. These new names are so bad. Paxton
Yeah.
Haley, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but like Vic Joseph's like, oh, that's an upset. How? Explain to me, sincerely, explain to me how. I don't get like, oh my god. Like, I didn't want the match in the first place. That was my problem with it. I get that they tried to quote unquote
Yeah, the
protect
WWE
Sade.
loves booking matches that they A, don't need to, and B, nobody wants.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like, God, they're making Tiffany Stratton such a big deal. And the thing is, it's lazier. Like, obviously, it's going to be lazier than fucking Charlotte, you know, nepotism and everything else we talk about all the time. But this is like the laziest perceptual forcing of reality I've ever seen. Like, they're already acting like she's a big deal, but you haven't even done the effort to give her a championship. Like,
It's almost.
I fucking
Wait a
hate
minute.
this.
Is this Dakota Kai 2.0?
Oh my God, it might be. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Tavares is even more apoplectic than I am, but he gets the general idea. So you said Saturday, so I
Javaris
guess
straight up bringing the fucking what was it, H bomber guy energy, where he's like,
yeah,
"Sell them to whom, Ben? Fucking Aquaman."
amazing. I've seen that video multiple times. And I wish I didn't see this episode even once. So we're still on Heat of the Night, so we're still on negative stuff. What
Mm-hmm.
else did I hate?
Everything involving LA Knight,
Oh God, yes.
which I'm
Oh God,
assuming
yes.
then would leak into Miz TV. It's also main event. It's both. He was in both.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's anything else like worthy to actually highlight to complain about. I'm gonna tentatively say, since you just said all that, no.
I absolutely hated the crowd's response to MSK. I think that the
Oh,
crowd.
that's
The crowd wanted a little too fucking badly for MSK to be heels, and when they came out and made it clear that they weren't turning heel, the crowd literally chanted bullshit.
I'm so glad you brought that up because you know what's funny? This was so bad. I'm gonna let you in on the mental process of why once again this is what chapter 5642 why I need help. So I was angered by this, then I suppressed it. Then I remembered it again for the show. Then we talked about Soleil and I suppressed it again, and then you reminded me. So now that it's at the surface, I I've tried to really bite my tongue because I feel like sometimes when you're angry about something, it's like, oh, okay, he could speak for both of us. There's no reason for me to get in on this, but no, like I've got to now. Fuck this fucking crowd, man. Like
Yes.
MSK is coming out. And you'd think for one fucking night, given that Scott Hall just passed, we'd have a little bit of fucking decency for everybody because they come out in the NWO shirts.
Yeah.
Like, obviously.
And the first words out of Wes's mouth are, hey, yo.
And they booed it. They boo and like see that alone is why I have to say something because again you've already expressed your and I'm like okay he speaks for both of us because I don't want to beat a dead horse, but how can you be so fucking tasteless,
bro? I know
as to boo these guys,
dead, but it really deserves to keep getting beat, honestly.
Yeah, well then I'm stand back because I'm fucking getting my kicks in. How can you be so fucking tasteless as to boo these guys when they're doing the little nod and they're trying to do a fucking program? And here's the thing. I don't even want to get into all this mess because the internet's so fucking toxic. I honestly wish I could leave it forever and not look back, truthfully. But I fucking feel so bad for Izzy because she's a fucking child and all of this shit is insane. Like if I was her and I came of age, like, if I was 18 looking back on all this, I'd be like, wow, my parents are fucking weird. Wrestling's fucking weird. I still want to do it, just not for these people. Maybe I'd go to Japan. Maybe I'd go to Mexico. Anywhere but fucking Florida, except for where Abel lives and my boy Angel lives. Love you, Angel. If you ever go back and hear this.
I wish Abel was in chat too.
Yeah, you and me both. Like, just so fucking gross. So fucking gross. See, Foster, you need to explain that to me, man. Because I trust your judgment of people. Why is she trash when she's the fucking, like, I guess she's a teenager now. But, like, well, she's the young one.
Yeah, my whole thing is, like, I do feel bad for her because even if she is trash, she's not trash independent of everything. She's trash because she was raised by trash.
Thank you. It's like it doesn't happen in a fucking vacuum, and I'd like to think there's still some hope for a fucking teenager to turn it around.
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, I'd like some fucking specifics because I've seen people dump on her too, and I'm like, what did she do? She's like fucking waking up to this shit. And she probably face palms about her dad more than anybody. Dude, yeah, when say Dorado gets his
in my mind, there is no such thing as a good parent who encourages their child to become a pro wrestler. Because at the end of the day, we've seen the fucking end result of pro wrestlers' careers and lives, and it is not good, and it is not something that you should encourage your kid to do unless they are highly, highly passionate about it. And even then, in my opinion, you should be like, okay, but get a degree first, because these kids should seriously not be trying to make pro wrestling their number 1, 2, and 3 career choices. It is not a healthy career choice at all.
And Foster, you know what?
That's be a fucking garbage man before you become a goddamn pro wrestler.
Yeah, and Foster, like, I get that completely. I respect that completely. For me, and anybody wandering in randomly and being like, why the fuck are we talking about Izzy and her parents? Well, because this fucking arena, at the behest of her father, was like, oh, boo MSK for, checks notes, criticizing Izzy taking fucking bumps as a child. Like, what the fuck? Like, I hate this planet. I hate this planet, and I'm gonna be just fully honest here. That's what you guys come on here for. All of our, TWitWoW diehards, and I fucking love you guys for it. It makes me hate the wrestling industry. Truthfully, like it really makes me hate this fucking business because, like, yeah, like how fucking scuzzy do you have to fucking be? Like, where the fuck? I don't. Fuck this. I feel so bad for MSK. You were talking about one of the best tag teams you can have. And keep in mind, this is coming from the guy on my side of things, where I thought they got pushed too fast. I wanted them to chase the titles a bit more than one of the first times. I have never denied their talent, and especially Wesley as a promo. Nash Carter, he's kind of there, but like as a package, it's a great fucking act. It's a great fucking act that gets shit on for no reason because a father was a bit too sensitive. God, I really fucking hate the internet bubble. I really fucking do. And it was like, oh, they criticized how I parent my fucking young daughter taking bumps. Boo them till the end
Let's
of time.
not
Get
even
them
call
the
it
fuck out
being
of there.
sensitive because that implies that he was legitimately like had his feelings hurt. He was being fucking obtuse.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. God. You know, Foster, if you ever want to hug it out and talk about it, I am so here for you because, like, fuck. So yeah, I'm glad we agreed on that. I really need to get my kicks in on this crowd because I've really had it up to here with them. Like, tonight was not the fucking night, and you couldn't help yourselves because you're fucking obnoxious. Did you bring
Tonight
anything
really
else to
was
the
a
party?
night of like, I don't care that you're clapping for me. I've seen what you cheer. Or I don't care that you're booing for me. I've seen what you cheer. And like,
Yeah.
they'll boo MSK, but fucking thin blue line Champa gets them eating out of the palm of his hands.
Bro, you have no idea. I mean, maybe you do. I shouldn't say that, but like, I desperately wish we had a Kevin Owens level promo on this fucking crowd in this because when Kevin cut that one before they went to what was it, fucking Brooklyn,
Yep.
and fucking Full Sail was angry about it, and he tore him to pieces. We need that so badly today, so badly today. Fuck me. You bringing anything else to the party, amigo?
You know what? Let me give it one last look over, and I will tell you in just a few seconds. Okay, Ms. TV
$2
was
super chat from
awful.
Javaris while you're doing that. Zamasu was right. You know what, Javaris? I wouldn't say no mortals because some of y'all are pretty cool. I'd like to think me and Ashton are pretty cool. But, maybe Thanos was closer than Zamasu because at least he was leaving half the planet. Oh,
No,
fuck.
no, that's actually gonna be it. I mean, do we count the heat of the night being fuck the Mysterios? They shouldn't be here.
I'm ambivalent about that so long as Santos eventually goes over in what I'm hoping would be a
Bro,
Rey Escobar matchup.
you
Um,
are expecting way too fucking much, in my opinion.
maybe, maybe.
When when
Um,
when Santos doesn't beat Rey Mysterio in NXT, how are you gonna feel then?
Well, then I'll do what we usually do. We've made tentative like heats of the night or whatever before, and we're just gonna wait it out. But I don't like this, and I think that's kind of where this is for me because I don't like them there on principle, given that they're main roster performers, and I use performer for Dominic very very lightly here. Uh, but I'm just maybe Ray will do the fucking rub because he realizes that Santos really is on the come up. I mean, that would be what happens in a just world, and I understand we live in a very unjust world. So tentative
In
heat of the
my
night for me.
mind, if Rey does quote unquote put over Santos, it's gonna be because Santos cheats to beat him.
Yeah, that's probably true. And to a point, you could forgive it because, well, I mean, he is a heel, but he's just too talented in the ring to need to cheat to really beat anyone,
Yeah.
honestly. This match with Cameron was great tonight. Definitely a highlight of this fucking show. So with that said, let's get into our NXT review. Might be a really quick one because we're just gonna skip the whole first part of this. Fucking Miz TV with Ziggler and then LA Knight interrupts. Fuck that. We'll get right into Grimes versus Escobar. Great back and forth here. And I really enjoyed it. This was to qualify for the ladder match. And actually, before this, we did get Cora's promo about her plan. Raquel's apparently going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, so I wonder what she legitimately injured to be out for that long. But yeah, Grimes, Escobar. Were you able to go back and watch this? Because I know you said you missed the first half hour of the
I
show
did.
in
I
Discord.
managed to go back and watch it pretty much all the way through. Grimes deserves so much better. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy for Santos, but I can't believe they are seriously just putting Grimes in another fucking rut.
Yeah, his promo about it tonight was fucking great.
I
It worked
saw.
me in a
I
good way.
actually
Yeah.
saw. I saw the promo, and that's why I'm saying they're putting him in another fucking rut. They're making him like down bad again. I don't understand why they keep fucking doing this with this guy. Like, you literally have. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Maybe they see him as the next Daniel Bryan too, but they think we buried Daniel Bryan for years and he ended up becoming the biggest star ever. We have to bury Cameron Grimes.
Yeah. You know what's funny? we're talking about this off the heels of me watching multiple times because that's just how my brain's wired. Trevor Lee's PWG promos, when Cameron Grimes was Trevor Lee. Jesus Christ. Spoiled, people. Spoiled. His promo on Darby Allin, because my personal favorite, just because he's like, oh, come on, Darby, give him the only fucking spot you got. He talks his shit about Bola and everything, about how, like, he's one of the best in the fucking company, and I want him to have that swagger. Obviously, I understand he can't drop all the profanities and stuff he did in PWG promos, because WWE, despite being quote-unquote edgier, gag me, there is a limit, but man, I kind of want Grimes to have that swagger back about him. Again, really great matchup. That moonsault slam was perfection. And I love the finishing sequence of the cave-in being intercepted for the Phantom Driver. Definitely an unexpected result, but a welcome one. Santos, as I said multiple times in the Discord, Santos is forever daddy. So, I've got no problem with this. I know where my bread is buttered, and maybe there'll be
dude,
like...
You know
yeah.
what? I think I would have less of a problem if Grimes didn't also get a fucking jobber entrance, but he did.
Oh, I know you were apoplectic about that in our Discord. You were like, are you
and I'll
fucking
tell you
serious?
why.
Fuck
I'll
yes.
tell you why I was apoplectic about it, because I already knew that he lost the match. I already knew that he lost the match, and for him to get a jobber entrance and then lose and then cut a promo about basically just being down bad and being a disappointment, I hate everything about that. I hate everything about it. I just, like, I'm not necessarily saying put every world title on Cameron Grimes. I'm not going to that extreme. But what I am saying is this dude's never even been a North American champion before. I think he's only ever had one shot at the North American Championship, and it was a multi-man match. It wasn't even a one-on-one match. And like,
Yeah.
Grimes, Loomis, Io, and if they don't win the women's tag titles, Dakota need to leave NXT. And MSK, I'll throw MSK out there too. Need to leave NXT. Bad.
I agree with everybody. I wouldn't hold my breath on Dakota specifically because she does love streaming, and I feel like that's why she stayed in NXT, because they don't fuck with the streaming, if I understand it right. The moment she would they would want her up on the main roster, they might actually have to butt heads, because obviously then we know the whole third party controversy, all that stuff. So I don't know, but yeah, like, well, that wasn't last week, Javaris. That was at what was it? God, what was that show? Vengeance Day. It was Vengeance Day that Grimes faced Mello, and he did lose, admittedly. It just, I think what we're saying is he doesn't even necessarily have to be the contender or the champion right now. It just, again, you're positioning him as I'm down bad, and the whole thing was it's 2022 the moon, and there's still plenty of time in 2022. It's just how much longer are you gonna drag this out? He didn't even win the $1 million championship on his first try. Like, they have really given it to this dude. But great matchup. Shaping up to be a nice ladder match with Escobar in it. I will give Vic Joseph credit. If we're going to dish it, we might as well, give it when it's good. He actually did bring up that if Escobar qualified, he could be dangerous to Mello, because the last stand and deliver, he was in a ladder match and he won it. So pointing out that Escobar has that experience, I thought that was a nice observation by Vic. So I will give him credit for that. After that, we get Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray talking about the finals of the Women's Dusty Cup. And a good promo there. I always like when Io can speak her native Japanese and it just gets translated. Comes off very effective to me. Then we see that Wendy Chu and Dakota were watching this on the monitor. Dakota's like freaking out. She's not really so sure about anything. Wendy's like, it's fine. And then, Toxic Attraction are up looking for their titles. They get into it a bit with Chu and Dakota because they were like, we had the match won last week. We didn't need your help. And then they're just like, whatever. And Chu and Dakota say the Toxic Attraction are weird. I love this team. I want to echo your sentiments in the Discord. I know you said that they're becoming one of your favorite parts of NXT. Big same, bro. Big same. I love these guys. I'm really rooting for them to win next week. I love Io. Kaylee Ray's kind of there for me. But Wendy and Dakota, yeah, that'd be good shit. Be good shit. All right. What came after this? A-Kid versus Kushida. What'd you think about this, man?
This was really solid. lots of grappling type stuff, lots of technical wrestling, submissions, that kind of thing. I was surprised A-Kid won. I was really surprised by that, just because I guess I still have New Japan Kushida stuck in my head that I just feel like he's just like such a almost like a backstage politician in my mind that I just have a hard time imagining him losing to randoms. And I guess A-Kid isn't just some random because he is also now, because he won this match, going to be in a qualifier to potentially be in the North American Championship match at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, he's got to face Grayson Waller next week. Hooray. Yeah, so after that, we get LDF backstage. It's the whole Ray and Dominic thing. This sets up Dominic versus Raul for later in the night. So Ray versus Tiffany Stratton. I do not need to relive that again. After this, Gunther confronts LA Knight. Pretty much says, like, you have no respect. You run your mouth, but you don't have any skill. Knight retorts that it's sports entertainment. You got the first half. I got both. So I'm assuming that these guys are going to feud. Wow. Not only do you change the guy's name, now you're giving him shitter feuds. Amazing to me. Amazing. So Tommaso Ciampa backstage. Then we come back, and again, this is one of the core vignettes we already talked about. Then we get the Ciampa promo. I'll give the man credit. He makes me sick with the thin blue line thing, but, this wasn't a bad promo by any means. There's a reason why I fell in love with his Black Heart run in the first place. That dude can work the fucking stick. He does the usual spiel of like, oh, this is my journey, this and that. And I don't know what's next, so I'm not going to take you guys through every painstaking line of this promo. I was pleasantly surprised, though, that Tony D'Angelo interrupted, said that I could have hit you with the crowbar because he throws it to the side, but I didn't because I respect you. I want to do this man to man. And he said, I got to know, like, who do I got to beat? Who do I got to beat to put myself on the map? Says, Ciampa, that's you. So how about it stand and deliver? You versus Tony D. They shake on it. I think Tony knees him in the balls. Tommaso sinks. And Tony says, it was always you, Tommaso. It was always you. And after I beat you and stand and deliver, I'm going to become the Don of NXT. And then he kisses him on the cheek, throws him to the canvas. Ciampa thought he was going to get made. He got dead. That was great. I'm rooting for Tony D big time and stand and deliver. I'm still vibing with the gimmick. I thought it would have gotten old with me, but I feel like they're walking that line just right for me with this gimmick. And I think it'd be great for Ciampa to put over a talent that's objectively gotten better in D'Angelo before whatever he does next, whether it's a call-up or whether he's leaving like Johnny or whatever the fuck. Then we get Indy versus Persia. What did you think about this, man?
I mean, it was weird that they shared an entrance and they were just constantly trying to one-up each other and get more, like, camera time and stuff. But,
Yeah.
like, the match was kind of a nothing match. Like, the match was really more of just, like, an in-ring storytelling segment than an actual match in my mind,
I think you're 100% right about that. And pickiest of nits, because I don't want to belabor this point, I really didn't like that fucking Persia lost to a roll-up of death. I mean, we literally saw this woman not that long ago win a 2-on-1 handicap match, and you're fucking telling me that, like, she's losing to roll-up of death because she saw Dexter Loomis and had the same shock that she had if Alan saw the curvature of the earth? Get the fuck out of here. I'm not here for it. The post-match makeout contest was interesting.
But
you know,
interesting, you mean the best part of the show, right?
I mean, one of. I did enjoy Grimes Santos. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. I mean, honestly though, I'm an asshole. I still just want Indy to turn around, face Dexy, kick him in the balls, and divorce him. And then her and Persia are fighting over who Duke loves more. And then Duke cuts in and he's like, ladies, there's enough of me to go around. And he just walks away with them both. Like, I don't know. I'm a classic douche. I would love to see a relationship be ruined. I don't know. I have no emotional stability to call my own. So we'll see where this storyline goes.
Is a mixed tag, and you're out here calling for Dexter's head for some reason.
I mean, I like Dexter, but I actually agree with you that he should be called up. Honestly, this is why I really don't get WWE anymore. Between, like, the name changes and everything else they're doing. This guy, I feel like, fits your model of what you fucking like. Like, and he's still in NXT. And the thing is, we've seen that he could be a great babyface. Like, NXT has proven that.
Bro,
but
low-key, I
Yeah,
feel like Dexter Loomis is the type of guy that once the storyline with Indy and him being an item ends, he gets released.
you know what? You might be onto something there. I think in this current climate, actually, you are onto something, and
Because
that's
one thing that we
really
shouldn't
sad.
overlook is that he is 38 years old.
Yes, yes. Oh boy, yeah. You know what the funny thing is? Like LA Knight's, I think the same age, and that's why I found
Wait,
it so
really?
funny when like Miz was building him up and shit. Like, oh,
Holy shit, LA Knight's older. LA Knight's 39.
yeah, they're like, oh, you're going places, kid, and I'm like, yeah, 39-year-old LA Knight, totally the future of WWE. I
Oh
don't,
my
I
god.
don't fucking know.
Dude,
Yeah, it's
apparently age isn't really the issue anymore, all things considered. Fucking the NXT champion is 42-year-old Dolph Ziggler.
yeah, which means I have like 10 years to become WWE champion, says LA Knight. My clock's only begun to run. Raul versus Dominic Mysterio. Don't want to talk about it. Dominic wins. Who gives a fuck? And then we get Cora Jade. That whole thing wrapping up. NXT title. Oh, then we get the Cameron Grimes promo. Actually, before that, we get the tag title situation. Malcolm Bivens is pretty great in this. Fucking love me some Bivens. Then we're getting set for LA Knight versus Ziggler, but backstage, Bivens is between Enofe and Blade and the Grizzled Young Vets. Enofe and Blade cop to, fucking assaulting those waiters because they were getting too close to Mandy. And Bivens was like, brother, it's not, it's only March. It's only March. What are you doing? And Zach Gibson, with my line of the night, maybe even a candidate for quote of the year. And now that I'm just thinking about it, I want to remember this to write it down when we go off the air. You're accusing us when these creepy little simps, like, put it in my veins. Let me get my nose up in that scalp, daddy. Let me hit. God. Gibson's amazing. Gibson was definitely one of the highlights for me on the show. I like that we both responded to like just interesting stuff because you were all about the Indy Persia, Loomis, Hudson, and for me it was this line from Gibson, just this whole interaction. And GYV is actually facing the Creed brothers next week. I know it's not going to happen because my happiness has never mattered to NXT 2.0. But I would love if GYV beats the Creed brothers and then we make it a fatal four-way at Stand and
That
Deliver.
would be incredible. That would actually pique my interest for that match.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it would be as incredible as your face because your face actually has what I like to call constancy of excellence.
I appreciate
but it would
that,
be a
but
step
I
in the
also
right
think
direction.
it wouldn't be incredible as it would be if Imperium just vacated the titles and we got a three-way between MSK, Creed Brothers, and GYV.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'd also be fucking cool, if NXT ever decided, I don't know, just put the fucking titles on GYV, period. They're never going to win those titles.
Who's the current North American champion? I keep forgetting.
Carmelo Hayes, the A
That's
champion.
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was he even on tonight? He was literally only on to be at ringside during Grimes Santos.
Yes. Yeah, for commentary, yeah.
Hasn't Santos already been North American champion?
No. He unsuccessfully had a bid for it against Bronson Reed because then Swerve came in and then he was.
God, wow. I feel like Santos is a former North American champion, but he's not because he never ended up winning all his shots.
Yeah. No, I understand why you do that though because yeah, he's so talented.
He feels like a champion, man.
He does.
Also,
he really does.
Probably because he's a former cruiserweight champion, and those lineages are like merged now, kind of.
Yes, definitely.
And frankly, when he was the cruiserweight champion, it probably felt at least as if not more prestigious than the North American Championship at the time.
Yes,
because he's him.
So true. God,
I mean, really thought you were gonna do your.
Honestly, it's funny you say that because I suppressed it so hard. I'm like, no, you only do it when he comes out in a suit and he looks fine. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm clearly going through things. I just need my own private time. That'll come later. I need to get my hands soft. Fucking South Park reference for people keeping up with the season. Anyway, LA Knight, Dolph Ziggler, who gives a shit? I don't. After that, Ziggler retains. Braun Breaker comes out, more or less challenges Ziggler for stand and deliver. And guess what, guys? It's happening. Yay! Even though he should have been going into the NXT equivalent of Mania as NXT champion because it's a brand made for him and people like him, which is to say the future. Yay! Fuck this. So high spots, low shots. Okay, just to get this out of my system. Not a serious answer, but the low shot is my life for wasting 2 hours on this program.
Bro, dude, for wasting 3 hours on the show and reviewing it.
Yeah, true. And really, if you want to think about it, and it's rare that I actually am looking to put heat on myself in a non-kayfabe way, this is all my fault. I was like, no, Ashton, we made a promise to these guys. We got to keep reviewing until Stand and Deliver. And NXT was just like, and I took that personally. I mean, you shouldn't have, but you did.
I want you to
yeah.
know I'm side-eyeing you very hard right now.
Oh my god! It was so close. It was right in my ear. So yeah, low shot is me and the 3 hours of my life that I wasted. Actual low shot, LA Knight. I guess Gunther was right about you the whole time. So
It's funny because if his name was an acronym, it would also describe him lacking.
oh my god! And here I was just gonna call him LA Blight as per usual, but no, you win the day on that
I'm
one.
just gonna call him Lack from now on because that's his acronym of his name, and that's what he does is Lack.
Who's your low shot?
Cora Jade.
Yeah.
She thought she could, and then Mandy was like,
Yeah. Fuck. Um,
It really should just be my low shot NXT's writing team, but that's not a kayfabe thing, so I'll stick with the kayfabe. It's Cora Jade.
I don't know why I was so good for this whole review, and then I just mulled on that for just a second, which then allowed me to mull on the entirety of the NXT brand, and I think it broke me, honestly. So that's a new development. High spot. High spot Santos Escobar. No, because I want to be both an asshole, but I want to be serious. But this show doesn't deserve my seriousness. High spot is Santos. I mean, he can get it forever. He personifies the saying, "This guy fucks," and he's going to stand and deliver to compete in the ladder match.
Kind of ironic that the first guy that we heard that phrase used on was a pasty, tall, lanky white dude, and now, of course, it's like we see the actual sex machine Santos.
Yes. I just want him to have all 2 hours. Just give him Grimes, Hayes, Gigi, dump your friends. Do better.
Dakota, Io.
Wendy. We can, Wendy, yes. Oh god. Oh god. If Wendy's advice of just taking a nap ever fucking applied. Oh god. So who's your high spot?
My high spot is going to be. You know what? Sticking strictly with the kayfabe of the universe, I think it's got to be Tommaso Ciampa.
Even though he got like kneed in the groin.
No, you're right. Actually, my main thing was that he's moving on.
Yeah.
My whole reasoning for him being the high spot was that he basically cut like his final big promo in NXT, and that he's going to be moving on after he gets past D'Angelo to either not NXT or even more likely not NXT.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, good for him, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
But realistically, you're right about the knee to the balls. That kind of ruins the high spot. So I guess, man, who's my actual high spot going to be then? God. You already gave it to Santos, right?
Yes. You want to join me? You can join me. There's enough sexiness of him for both of us.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like anyone else that want to. Oh no, easy actually. A-Kid is my high spot.
I mean,
hell of a debut
Santos.
for Kid.
Yeah, Santos is considerably handsomer, but I see where you're coming from.
You are correct, but A-Kid is only 24 years old.
You had just enough tone there to make me think you were actually second guessing it, and then you doubled down. That was honestly impressive. That was some linguistic finesse right there. Some tonal finesse. Anyway, this has been NXT, I think, or Raw, or I don't know what the fuck this show is anymore. But I do know that this was TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today.
God, you know what? You're making me realize. I just want to ask everyone that listened to this not to take this review as an honest example of what our podcasts are normally like. We normally enjoy what we watch.
We do.
It's normally a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun, reacting to wrestling that we like. And the reason we aren't reacting to NXT is precisely because we don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Was that like a sigh that became a laugh?
No, it was a sigh that became a sputter to symbolize the engine that was in the plane of my life that's taking a nosedive into the ocean of just mediocre wrestling content that isn't Stardom and increasingly AEW.
That was verbose, my man. That was verbose.
Yeah. I will say though, and I should have said this at the start of the review, excited for Dynamite tomorrow night.
Yep.
Should be good. We're live reacting to that, guys, so you'll wanna be there. But yeah, I don't even know where I was on the outro. But yeah, just leave a like. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you never get miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Like I said, guys, check out the Patreon, see what we offer there. The two offerings I always like to highlight: additional Q&A questions as it stands. If you don't donate to the Patreon, you only get 3 Q&A questions for Q&A at the end of the month. For this month, that'll be March 31st. But if you do donate $1, you get up to 5 Q&A questions. I would just donate 3, get access to the Discord. Not only does it have a Q&A channel, but it's really cool. We have a live wrestling discussion channel. We pretty much hung out during NXT tonight. And it's just a great community. We do games Mondays and Fridays, so join us for that. Beyond that, yeah, I think our Twitters, of course, at Ashton_TWitWoW. His pin tweet is TWitWoW schedule, which he does have up, so you can see what we're doing the rest of the week. And then my pin tweet again is to collect Q&A questions, so submit them if you got them. We will see you tomorrow for AEW Dynamite at 8 p.m. And before that, actually, we'll be doing Stardom. Are we doing 5 or are we doing 4 again?
5 tomorrow.
I thought so. Yeah, 5 p.m. tomorrow, we're reacting to the March 13th show where Lady C, Utami, and Saya Kamitani will try and take the Artist Championships from My Hemapoi. Will they be successful? We'll see. We'll see. And then after that, we're reacting to Dynamite 8 p.m. So we'll see you guys then. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And until then, tune in. Peace out.